Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and today I want to go over how to make a modern aioli. Before we jump in on the aioli, I want to talk specifically what an aioli is. Now, traditionally, an aioli is just an emulsification of garlic and olive oil. That looks quite a bit different than what we see labeled as aioli today. A more modern aioli is similar to a mayonnaise. Now, mayonnaise is actually an emulsification of egg yolk, usually lemon juice, and then a canola oil. Today, what we're gonna make is somewhere in between, but it's kind of what we think of as a modern aioli now. So the first thing we're gonna do is work on our garlic. Now, we are going to emulsify garlic into this sauce, which is one of the traits of an aioli, but we're gonna be doing a roasted garlic. So I gotta build a little pouch here to roast our garlic in. I've got a half dozen cloves of garlic, skin still on. We're just gonna build a little pouch here and add some oil. So now we're using an olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. We want about 3 or 4 tablespoons in here. So now we've got those two main ingredients that you see for an aioli. We're just gonna pinch this together and take it out to the grill to roast. Now, before we go out to the grill, we're also going to start to process our lemon. So this is where we start to blend some of these techniques. The first thing I want to do is take the zest off of our lemon. We're going to mix that into the aioli later on. So just taking that fine surface of the lemon off, the shiny yellow part. There's lots of flavor in here, and the aroma is already bursting out of there. So we'll set that aside for later. We're going to grill and caramelize the cut surface here of the lemon on the grill. So today we'll be using the Napoleon Prestige P500 gas grill to do our grilling. But you could use any kind of grill that you have available to you, just keeping in mind the techniques. We want a direct grilling zone and an indirect zone. Our lemons go over direct heat, our garlic goes over indirect. So the burners on this half of the grill are completely turned off, while the burners on this half of the grill are all the way up. And with that set up, the temperature of the grill is right around 400 degrees. At 400 degrees, that garlic's probably gonna take about 15 minutes before it's really softened. All right, lemons have been on for about 10 minutes now. Got some nice char going on the outside there. So that's just gonna add a nice little touch of smokiness to our aioli. So also just gonna check on our garlic here. It's probably not quite done, but we don't want it to go too far. Just pick up one of these cloves carefully. Don't spill that oil. Now it's still got some firmness to it, so we'll let that keep going for probably another 5 minutes. All right, I'm gonna check on the garlic again. It's starting to really smell like garlic inside the grill here. So we want these to be softened, but not really browned. Just lightly browned would be okay. With a toothpick, I'm feeling very little resistance on these, so I think we can go ahead and pull these off at this point. So I'm just gonna pop these garlic cloves out of the oil now and let them cool off. Then we can peel off the skins. And then the olive oil we're also going to incorporate to the rest of the oil that we'll be making the aioli with. So here I've got 3/4 of a cup of peanut oil. You could use any neutral oil. And this again is where we kind of start to blend these techniques of aioli and mayonnaise together. We're gonna add our olive oil that's garlic infused now, lots of flavor in there, to a more neutral oil. All right, it's cooled down a bit, so we're gonna pop them out of their skins. When they're softened like this, you could just about cut that tip off and squeeze them right out. There you go. All right, and then I'm just gonna mince this stuff up. So we're gonna work this into our aioli mixture here. We'll start it off, once it's fully cooled down, with an egg yolk and a little bit of lemon juice. So we kind of talked about what the base level of an aioli or a mayonnaise is. And now I want to talk a little about where we're going with the flavors today, above and beyond those basic flavors. We are going to be making a lemon dill aioli today. So obviously that means we've got lemon in it, we've got dill in it, we've got the garlic. This is a great condiment you can spread onto sandwiches. It's fantastic with fish and chips, great for dunking your fries in. So we're going to go into a small to medium sized mixing bowl here with the garlic. We're going to use 1 egg yolk today. So we'll separate that out from the white. And then we're going to take our grilled lemon and squeeze in about 1 tablespoon of the lemon juice. If you only end up using half the lemon, the other half makes for a great garnish with whatever you're serving. Or you can add extra lemon flavor. Now we're going to get started on the emulsion process, and we're going to do this by hand with a whisk today. The heavier your bowl, the better off you'll be so it doesn't move around. And then I like to stick a wet kitchen towel underneath also to kind of nestle it in place. All right, so we're going to break this up and whisk everything together and slowly start to add in our oil. So when you're starting out an emulsion like this, you want to go just drops at a time as it starts to emulsify. If you go too fast, you're going to break the emulsion. You'll have to start over with a new yolk. Typically, when we're building an aioli like this, you can expect to add up to about a cup of oil to a single yolk. So this is what it looks like emulsified. It's creamy, it's lightening up in color. If you go too fast with your oil, that's what it's going to start to look like when it's broken. So that's why you got to keep that whisk moving all the time to make sure you're constantly incorporating the oil into the emulsion. Again, this is a technique that crosses over from mayonnaise, but really what we see today listed on menus as a modern aioli. So as you make the emulsion and as you add more oil, you can start to go a little bit faster. Just make sure you're not going so fast that you break this thing down. All right, there's our oil fully incorporated. All right, so now we're going to add our flavoring agents. Starting off with some fresh baby dill. Do about a tablespoon of that. Just minced up super fine. Love that fresh smell. And this is the stage in your condiment making that you kind of start to decide, well, what am I serving this with? What's going to complement that dish well? Now, this specifically I'm going to be using for a dip with some fish and chips. So in addition to the lemon and dill, which go well with fish and chips, I'm also going to add about a tablespoon here of the malt vinegar, which is always known to go with fish and chips. I've also got some really great grainy Dijon mustard here that's going to go in there. We'll do a couple tablespoons of the coslicks, and then we'll intensify that lemon flavor with the zest that we took off our lemon before grilling. Just a beautiful aioli we've put together here. The only thing left, probably a bit of salt. Let's get a taste and see where that's at. We really haven't added any salt content beyond maybe the mustard. So it could use a little bit. Man, that is just bright, fresh dill, big lemon flavor, nice and tangy from the mustard and from the vinegar. We're going to add a little bit of our Noble hickory smoked salt. Whisk that in, and then just let this sit and let those flavors really develop, meld into one another. This is easily going to stay good in the fridge for a week. And you may decide that beyond fish and chips, you want it on a sandwich. You want to dip your veggies in it, whatever it is. So that's kind of our take on the modern aioli. It's really a hybrid of a mayonnaise and an aioli, but the important thing is it packs a big punch as far as flavor goes. And you can go all kinds of directions with that. I mean, we could have stopped and let garlic be the only flavor. Or you could go a different direction. You could do a chipotle lime aioli that would go great on your tacos. It's sort of a choose your own adventure in that way. But no matter where you're going with it, this is kind of the base technique to get you started. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out allthingsbbq.com for all of the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed that video, hit the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see us cover, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce. All Things Barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.